my name is Genie, and this is Dreams to Reality, a podcast, and also a YouTube channel as well. I place the Dreams to Reality podcast in my YouTube, Genie Hermoso. I also have it on Spreaker, Genie Hermoso podcast, Dreams to Reality. And so you can listen to this one in my podcast. I'm available on Spotify and wherever podcasts are available. And it's also available on YouTube. And if you want the audio and the YouTube, it's available. Well, no audio and the video, it's available on YouTube. So my YouTube is a page where it's like multi-purpose. I have my podcasts there, my coaching calls there. It houses a lot of the content that I produce. Also, I'm an author, so I interview authors there as well. And I do a lot of things on my YouTube channel as well. If you could take a look at it, it's Genie Hermoso, Genie Hermoso. My Dreams to Reality page or podcast has like a permanent home. It's on TikTok as well. I have like the Mystic Genie 88, MYSTIC GENIE 88. So that houses all of the coaching, all of the goal setting, everything related to goal setting and the law of attraction. Some people call it the law of attraction, but for me, it's just really working with the levels of our mind. And it's just really working with all aspects of our mind so we can accomplish a lot of things. And so the topic for today is the version 2.0 version of ourselves. And I'll be having a coaching session after this. Basically, whenever we want to achieve a new goal, we actually have to become that version 2.0 of ourselves. And for our unconscious mind or subconscious mind, and even to our conscious mind, it can be a bit daunting and it can be scary because we've never been there before. Literally, the unconscious mind, subconscious mind, which is really interested in survival. So there's my coaching client right now, so I'll let him in a few minutes. Anyway, the unconscious mind is afraid of the unknown, and so is the conscious mind as well. So I'm going to let that person in so we can start the coaching session. Okay, so now we're going to have the coaching session. It's going to start today, right now. So hey, Jason, are you there? Can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't really see you right now.
Yeah, I'm starting.
Oh, okay. Oh, I like your background.
Thank you. I set it up today.
Yeah, what have you been up to since our last coaching session?
So what I've been up to, so I did switch jobs. So I switched to something that's a little bit more consistent, just like one full-time instead of doing multiple part-time. So I think that's better for my energy to be more focused. The other thing is that I did start recording YouTube videos. So actually doing the process of scripting and editing and things like that. So that's been pretty cool. And I think that's definitely more of my area of interest. Especially, for speaking and communicating. I find that it's, learning to script and write and edit your own video is a very enjoyable process. So I feel like that's a good way for me to communicate my ideas and hopefully build other things too.
Okay, that's very good. I'm really proud of you. And yeah, you've come a long way. So anyway, so we have another guest, which is Bacon. He's the guest.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the guest dog. Anyway, so Before you came in, I was actually discussing about like, um, when we have a desired outcome, it's actually like, since it's the unknown and
Mhm.
since we've never been there before, our unconscious mind and our conscious mind actually gets scared of that like desired reality, and that new version of ourselves. That's why we get um, self-sabotage. We tend to do things to prevent ourselves from actually reaching our goals, and that can be our greatest enemy, self-sabotage. So have you seen when you initially like try to set up a goal and your desired reality, did you experience any self-sabotaging behaviors? And then can you explain
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah, so I think self-sabotage is for me it's very subconscious too. It's sort of built into my uh ways of thinking. And especially, say for taking this new adventure of mine is, making YouTube videos and recording myself. um uh you know One of the things, because I've started right now, it's 2023 and I've had this idea to start for a couple of years right now. And one of the self sabotaging mindsets for me is, oh, you should have started 3 years ago, oh, you should have started 4 years
Um,
ago, right? And then it keeps on pushing and pushing on, but eventually you have to start. So I think that's something I found even when I was coming up right now making the videos, like, oh, you started too late, you're too late to the party, there's too many people out here, it's too saturated, right? Nobody's going to watch your videos because there's too many to pick from. Even though that's not true, right? I think there's a saying, right? The best time to start was 5 years ago, but the second best time to start is right now. So that's what I'm doing right now, just being present in the moment and starting. And really, by doing this whole process, right? By doing things that we want, I'm starting to realize there are so many layers of this self sabotage that's built into my mindset, and I'm just kind of like weeding the garden, if you will, just kind of taking them out. So, but it's brought a whole new level of awareness, which I'm grateful for.
okay, that's great. So what do you call that? Yeah, I did start the YouTube years and years ago, but I wasn't late to the party. But the thing
Mhm.
is, the my direction kept changing as well. So it doesn't really matter whether you started years ago or you started at the right time. There's like, it's growing. There's 8 billion people on the planet, and I think there's billions of people that go to YouTube, and this is primarily where people search for their information, Google and YouTube. So you came to the right place. um, so there's really nothing to regret whether you're late for the party or not. And some people on YouTube as well, they started years ago like myself, but then they switched directions, and then now you have to start again from scratch as well. So I think it's the thing is, what's important is where you're going and what you want to do with it. So which seems like you already know what you want to do. So you have a direction. So what is your end result ultimately? Um, Especially for this year, what is your like maybe for the next 1 to 3 years, what is your desired outcome?
Yeah, so in the next 1 to 3 years, I think the desired outcome is to become independent. And when I
Mhm.
say that, I mean, physically, as an adult, mentally and emotionally as an adult, but also, in terms of career wise, professional wise, in terms of my professional goals, to be on a path towards materializing those goals. And I say that because, the past, I'm 28 years old, the past like literally 27 years, I've been basing my goals and what I want based on other people's opinion of me and what I think they want of me. And I never really developed my own opinion for myself. And therefore, I never developed my own personal goals for myself. And the things like that I'm starting right now, especially doing the YouTube videos, I find that it's really a way for me to express my own thoughts and opinions without the fear of judgment.
Mm.
But also, it is a platform, and the platform is that I'm a really big believer in energy healing, and I think that is the future of medicine, and that's where I'm aligning my personal and career goals forward. And the goal is to eventually have energy healing, taught in schools and universities, but also applied in different, healthcare clinics and even at home, things like that. So that's like the big goal that I'm moving towards. And I'm using, the platform and everything that I speak of to get there.
Okay, that's great. So you have more clarity actually than like the first few sessions that we have. So you seem to have like, I think you used the workbook, the Dreams to Reality workbook. Did
I
that
did.
help a lot?
Yeah, it's funny, yeah, because I was looking through the papers. It was kind of crazy. It was like months and months ago. And time flies by when you don't think about it. And yeah, reflecting back, especially with your mindset, right? I find that your goals change as you change. So I realized the goals that I set for myself, even when I was filling out those worksheets, were, really much lower than right now, right? I see myself doing more things, higher things. But I think that's just the process of evolution that we all go through. And, things do improve once you start building that momentum. But the worksheet was a great help, and it was a great way to get me started.
Okay, so now, so the topic for this coaching session is actually what is the version 2.0 of yourself? And I think it's in the workbook as well. And it's actually in my action planner. I don't know if you have that one, but it talks briefly about hitting the milestones, about um, is this more connected to the action planner? Like, what is the version 2.0 of yourself? And unless you define it, it's kind of hard to get there. So, we're still going to touch up on the four keys, which is clarity. And so, we have to be clear on what is the version 2.0 of Jason. And we have to clear what gets in the way. We use magnetic recode, which is very powerful, using the superconscious higher levels of the mind to clear what gets in the way. And then we do subconscious reprogramming and then aligned action. So we have to touch upon the four keys because they're very important in, you know, achieving our goals. So I think you already have a sheet of paper, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, um, so part of clarity is being sure of where you want to go and who you want to become. So, Jason, did you write down briefly what version 2.0 of yourself is? Have you defined that person already?
Yeah. So I define it as basically um, being a purposeful, driven, motivated speaker and educator and communicator for um, energy healing, which covers, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health, and communicating in a way that is confident, authentic, and practicing that alongside in a business that is successful with like-minded people.
Okay, that's great. So yeah, you're very clear on what you want. So the thing is, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna break it down to the version, the current reality, your current version right now, right? Um, and then your desired reality or desired version of yourself, the 2.0. But before we get there, we have to have milestones because the subconscious mind is actually, it wants the status quo. It doesn't actually want us. So we're going to be working against ourselves if we jump from version A to Z right away. So the subconscious mind will resist. There's always going to be resistance because a, it's never been there before. B, the subconscious mind is concerned about keeping the status quo for your protection. So it's actually for survival. That's what the subconscious mind is for. It's like, okay, you survived this. This is the version of you that's okay. We're going to keep the the balance, the equilibrium, so that you survived up to this point. So that's okay, we're going to keep it like that. So that's why you've noticed that there's people that they may reach that level in their career, but then something happens that they're gonna revert back, or because that's a subconscious mind. It's not really self-sabotaging patterns. It's more like self-preservation, because like subconscious mind is afraid of the unknown. So now we're going to be working against ourselves if we don't um, go there by milestones. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I want you to define who you are right now, your current reality. So um, what are your beliefs right now?
Yeah,
So,
so my beliefs right now are based on where I'm at. Um, but I know that this is a process. So my beliefs right now is that I am um, basically working towards, building up my skills in terms of my public speaking, in terms of my confidence, in terms of my intangible skills, like doing research and communicating research on energy healing, on health and healing, and based on that, it is a work in progress. I'm not definitely not perfect. I think I have a lot of perfectionism in me, which is a big hindrance to getting started in a lot of things. Because when you're a perfectionist, you want every little detail to be perfect. And that's what prevents me from executing a lot of my ideas. That's what the biggest trouble I have. I have a lot of ideas, but because of the perfection, almost 0 to 1% basically gets done. So, so
no.
that's what I'm trying to work through.
Okay. So notice how that feels when you feel when you say the word like I have to be perfect, everything has to be
Mhm.
perfect. So what does it feel like?
Yeah, it feels like a sense of anxiety that I always have to get to. It feels like that I'm making up for something that I lack, so that's why I have to be perfect. Um, yeah, that's what it feels like. Anxiety and almost making up for something that I'm missing in my life.
Okay. So just feel the tension right now. So think about who you want to be, the version 2.0 of Jason, the one that's competent, the one who's got it going, the one who's figured it out. So can you jump to that version of yourself?
Yep.
Okay, how does it feel that, let's say, you jumping into a suit of your 2.0 version of you? Um, how does it feel like being like you're there now?
Yeah, so it feels very fluid. Like it feels there's no tension, there's no block. Everything just comes and goes very easy. So I'm it's like breathing, right? You breathe in very naturally and easy, and you breathe out very naturally and easy. Before I would have some tension when I would breathe in and when I would breathe out. And I find that that goes in many parts of life, right? You have to give and you receive. So this version of myself, there is no resistance.
Okay, that's great. And who are you surrounding yourself with? And what are you doing currently? Let's say you're already there, you've achieved your goal, you've already, um, yeah, and we have another visitor here. So there you go. So who are you becoming? Um, Notice who you've become, like the version 2.0 of yourself. So what do you believe about yourself?
Yeah, so the version 2.0 beliefs of myself is the reason why that I'm already here in this moment. So basically, again, my goal is to bring the main goal is to bring energy healing into mainstream healthcare, right? And in order to do that, I see myself already surrounded with, once I accomplish that goal, I see myself surrounded with, the leaders in government, in research, in a lot of like nonprofit organizations to help spread awareness and education about energy healing. So I see myself, doing a lot of public speaking, a lot of engagement talks, to students. And the belief around that is the belief that I can do it, right? And I always know I have the capacity to communicate this information, like anything in business, right? 1% is the idea, but 99% is the marketing, right? If you can't market and you can't share your idea, no one's going to get it. So I think that's the big thing with energy healing, because I know it works, but it's just been communicated in a way that is not so grounded, right? When you meet a lot of energy healers, they're up here, but they're not grounded. So it doesn't get across to, leaders and, especially in research and more business minded people that are more dense and lower in not in their energy, but they're very grounded. So I see myself being very balanced in that, and being able to connect both worlds and helping the energy healers and more of the grounded people, the science, the politicians, government, education, to really work forward in getting energy healing out into the mainstream.
Okay, so now that love is here, so I'm just going to explain briefly to you. We just recently started. Can you hear us? Yeah. So basically, what you need to do is you have to define who you are right now and define who you want to be, the version 2.0 of love. So define who you are right now. So where are you? What are your beliefs about yourself currently? And then if this is the 2.0 version of you that already achieved your goals, what are your beliefs then? Who are you? What have you become? Who do you surround yourself with? What are you doing? And so the thing is, um, in order to reach the desired outcome, which is the version 2.0 of ourselves, we need to reach it like not really step by step, but we have to reach milestones, because our unconscious mind will tend to sabotage if we jump right away. I know you've noticed like some people that achieve their success like very instantly, like let's say people that win the lottery overnight, they're like famous overnight, they have money, but then you notice after like a year's time or 5 years time, they revert back to their original self, because the jump was too fast, like they couldn't catch up, and so that is the key. In order to turn into the version 2.0 of ourselves, we need to do it at least with our unconscious and our conscious mind. We need to do it gradually, so the exercise for today is going to be, we have to jump into the version of ourselves, but before that there's like the middle part. So what is the 25% version of yourself? So how about you, Jason? If let's say you reached a milestone and you're 25% almost there. So you're still somewhat like you right now, but you've reached like the next milestone. You've achieved um, the other like goal. So what is if you are just a little bit different, but your actions might change differently, and your beliefs might start to shift. And okay, so I want you to tell me like what would your beliefs be if you are 25% like almost there at
Yeah.
your goal.
So I think that the main part of it, and it's kind of coincidental that we have someone named Love join us. I think that self-love is very important. And I think that self-love is the foundation for any goal, because no matter what happens, you're bound to make mistakes. And I think that that's very important, because mistakes is what gives you the weight to train for self-love, right? The harder your mistakes are, the more that you can train yourself to love yourself more and to get through those mistakes. And I think in the past that I really struggled with literally loving myself because of the mistakes that I've made in the past, which is why I couldn't break through and reach for my higher goals. So, when I feel that I'm 25% of the way there, I think that the biggest thing for me would be self-love, because that is the foundation for getting to the 50%, 75%, and eventually 100%. So, and that feeling of self-love, which will empower me to, again, reach out to just starting getting my feet wet, right, into, the government, politics, education system with energy healing, and not being afraid to do that. And I think that, with everything that I'm doing now, with, making videos online and sharing my thoughts, I think that's just one step towards that. So that's where I see myself if I'm 25% of the way there.
Okay, so I want you to embody the 25% version of yourself briefly. So feel it. And then I want you to go back to the version 2.0 of yourself, the end result. So how does it feel like? Do you feel any tension there?
Yeah, I think there's always some tension because, this is getting started, right? The ball is moving, but it's not there at the finish line yet. So there's a lot of tension from the unknowns because I feel like I'm doing a lot of things and, but nothing is really catching on yet. So that's why I feel some tension.
Okay, so now back, so we're gonna involve love. So let's say love. So I know you already have an idea what the 2.0 version of yourself is. So let's say you jump into the version of yourself that's 50% there, almost there, like at your desired reality. Can you describe what your environment is like?
Well, definitely it's gonna be, sorry for that, my son is watching TV. But definitely it's gonna be very connected. That's the word that came to mind right now. Especially with, of course, with my alignment with myself and my essence, like being courageous and all that consistently. I mean, it's not gonna be that perfect, like, all the time, like, but um, I could easily shift when there's a need
Mhm.
to. And I could really see these people around me, like being connected with all many people with from all walks of life. And recently, I realized that um, it's really with women also, connection with more women that are, with the same relatable experience, like being a single mom, um, moms with children with special needs, and that kind of experience and people. So that's what I'm excited about, and that's what I feeling and seeing right now.
Okay, so what behaviors do you take? Let's say you're 50% almost there to your desired outcome to the version 2.0 of yourself. What behaviors are you and what skills do you have that you didn't have when you started the journey?
Then I'd be a relationship coach already. I've been envisioning that for a while now. Just really helping women out there, empowering, inspiring women from all walks of life. And the feeling of being courageous, confident, and really committed to my purpose. That's really the embodiment of the 50% that I'm seeing and feeling.
Okay, so I want you to focus on who you are becoming, and I want you to put the power back in your end result so that you are already 100% the 2.0 version of yourself. And then I want you to go back again to the 50% version of yourself. And then I want you to go back to the current version of yourself right now. And do you notice any tension, anything like fighting underneath? Like it's like, do you feel it?
Definitely. the the swinging of the warmth, 100% is really warm, But when I go back, it's like, there's this like behind my back, it's warm, and then now it's warm, but it's heavier. So now it's kind of heavier, but 50 to 100 is, it feels warm and exciting. So yeah, there's really a lot of difference from now till the next level or version of myself. A whole lot of difference.
Okay, so now I want you to move yourself to your 75% mark. You are 75% closer to the new version of yourself. What is your environment? Just feel it. And who do you surround yourself with? And what behaviors and skills do you have? So, can you describe what behavior and skills you have, love?
That moment, I can see that I'm already my, like, being magnetic and charismatic is higher. I could always see myself, talking to a lot of people, being on a platform where many people are listening to me, um, feeling me in their hearts, not just, the words, but connecting energetically. So, yeah, and, really transforming lives.
Okay.
Thinking it, yeah.
So I want you to step into the version 2.0 of yourself, the one that has 100% of your desired reality. So how does it feel between the 75 and the 100%? Do you feel like you're closer to it?
Well, it's pretty much closer, and I don't know, that's just a feeling that it's not gonna be that much, a whole lot of difference by then, if it's like from the 75 to that 2.0 version of myself, because I'm it's just um really, I see the consistency, and there's no more cloud, like, the doubts that I always have within myself, from now, that this point in my life. So, you know everything's gonna be clear and just really intentional, purposeful all the time. So that's how I see myself.
Okay, that's great. So we're gonna do the superconscious or magnetic recode in a few minutes, just an introduction for people that are listening. So magnetic recode or superconscious magnetic recode is working with another level of our mind, which is our superconscious or higher self, which actually sees everything. It has all the information since birth, and sometimes most of the time, even 7 generations before us. So you can see the pattern from birth until the present moment, and then even from 7 generations back. And the way that this works, it's very subtle. Sometimes you don't even notice. So with me, I've been resisting making like a author TikTok for a while, like for several months. And then when I took a course, I was also not doing the assignments and stuff, but I did the magnetic recode on myself. And would you know it? Like I made like over 30 TikToks already. So so that's crazy if you think about it. And I'm like, dude, like why am I can't even stop myself. I'm just doing it. And that's the power of the magnetic recode. I've never found a clearing tool that works like this. Like it literally is like um it removes the blocks and resistances, but it does it in a very gentle, and sometimes you don't really notice that you're doing things already. So for me, it's been very like subtle, and then I just surprise myself. So, and I do have like that there's what do you call that, the coaching session about removing resistances. You can repeat that over and over. I think that is one of the magnetic recodes that you can do over and over and over again, and this one too, you can do this over and over again. And so what the superconscious magnetic recode does, it tells you exactly like what point in our lifetime why we're stuck in a certain thing. It might be a belief, it might be a memory, it could be anything, you know. It could just be someone telling you when you were 5 years old, like, yeah, you can't do anything good in your life, you know. It could be that. And but that's the thing, our conscious mind is usually not aware, like it doesn't remember everything, you know. It just remembers the present moment, and then sometimes the past as well if we try to remember. But the subconscious mind too has a different agenda. It wants to keep you safe, it wants to keep you alive. So it just wants to keep the status quo. So now you know that there's like different directions. So you want to go version 2.0 version of yourself, but then the unconscious and the subconscious mind, it's scared because it's the unknown. So now what we're going to do with a magnetic recode is we're going to jump into the 25% version of ourselves, the 50% version of ourselves, the 75 and the 100% version of ourselves. And this is why we do it, so that we don't shock our conscious and unconscious mind, because it will be shocked, you know, because it will like, yo, I've never been there before, I'm scared, you know. And our conscious mind is also saying like, I don't see how this is possible, but it is possible. So, and to top that all off, this is going to be a really powerful session because it's going to be paired with hypnosis after, where we really meld into that version 2.0 of ourselves. So, and I think it's under the beta version first, but I can give you a recording of that one. It's being tested and it's very powerful. And it's going to create like together with a super conscious magnetic recode and the hypnosis for the version 2.0 of yourself, it's really going to create changes as well. So now I'm going to ask you guys to close your eyes. So we're going to start the magnetic recode right now. Okay. So including you, Jason. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes and I want you to give me permission to connect to your superconscious field. So superconscious, are you there? Okay. Are there any parts that don't want energetic blocks that's blocking them from embodying and from reaching their, you know, end goal? And superconscious, please ground all the memories we've touched today, including memories 1, 2, and 3, the unconscious, the subconscious, and the superconscious. Ground and reconnect them back to the matrix of the universe. Ground all of that in being okay with the version 2.0 of yourself. You are okay with this new desired reality. You are living your desired reality. You are embodying the version 2.0 of yourself. Open your eyes, and when you are ready, just breathe in and breathe out. Open your eyes. Okay. And how did it feel, Jason? I felt you go under.
Felt very natural.
Oh, that's good. How about you, love?
I felt good. I felt so much power in my hands. So much energy. Yeah.
Okay, so that's only aligning your aspects of yourself, your memories 1, 2, and 3, which is superconscious, unconscious, and unconscious. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go under again, but this is the subconscious reprogramming, which is actually stepping into subconsciously into that version of ourselves and embodying it and taking it with us when we come back to this, you know. So we're going to go into a state of trance and then come back out of the state of trance, and then we're going to be embodying that version of ourselves. So yeah, and Bacon wants to join that too. So anyway, when I tried this powerful method, so I did like switch it up a bit, but I used this similar hypnotic session, and it was so weird because like in that session it was like try to embody the person that you admire and stuff. And so what I did, of course, it was Oprah, you know. Who doesn't want to be like Oprah? So what happened was when I went under, like I sort of lined up with the energy of Oprah. And I kid you not, once I got out of that trance, I started using my left hand more. Like it's so weird. Like I'm never left-handed. And it's kind of weird when I remember what happened. I'm using my left hand more. So I started like using my left hand to open the door once I got out of that trance. And then I was like, you know, doing, and like I was like even like like taking off my shoes with my left hand, and it was like my left hand felt heavy, and I'm like, what is going on? It's so weird. And I just got curious, so I typed in Google, on Google, like I asked, like, is Oprah left-handed? And you know what, she's left-handed. And it lasted for like a few days. Because I'm literally clumsy with my left hand because I'm right-handed, so clumsy with my left hand. And for a few days I was left-handed. It's so weird. And so made me realize that, yeah, energetically we can connect with the energy signature of anyone. But the thing is, um it's better to, what do you call that, align energetically with that version of ourselves that we desire to be. Because self-love, Jason and Love was talking about self-love. I mean, if you idolize something, is that really considered like self-love if you want to emulate someone, right? So why not emulate that version of ourselves that's already successful, already been there, done that, and this is also part of Bert Goldman's, it's called quantum jumping as well, but this is kind of like a mix of that, and it's part of David Snyder's like hypnosis method as well. So we are going to be jumping into the version 2.0 of ourselves. We're gonna quantum jump. So I'm gonna put you in a trance after doing the magnetic recode, right? So I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe tomorrow you're gonna start flying. I don't know. But so we're gonna go into trance. And then after we go into trance, we're gonna get out of trance and then already embodying that version 2.0 of ourselves. Is that okay? Okay, so now we're gonna close our eyes. So Jason is easily hypnotizable. So you're gonna close your eyes. So inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. So you're gonna feel a feeling of relaxation travel from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. So you're just gonna feel that relaxation traveling all the way from your head, your throat, your arms, your legs, all the way to the tips of your toes. So you're so relaxed that your eyelids feel very, very heavy. And try as you might, it's so heavy that you can't open your eyes anymore. It's like going into a state of deep sleep. It's like your eyelids are so heavy. And even if you try to open them right now, they're just so heavy, you can't open them. So I want you to try to open your eyes, but because they're so heavy, you just can't, try to open them and close them. Try to open your eyes, but they're just so heavy. And I want you to spread the feeling of relaxation all the way down from your neck, your shoulder, your elbows, to the tip of your fingers. And your fingers are so heavy, especially your index finger. You're trying to lift your index finger right now, but it's so heavy. Your fingers are so heavy, you can't even lift them. You're just so relaxed. You're so relaxed. So you're breathing in and breathing out. With every breath, with every heartbeat, you go deeper and deeper into the state of trance. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, and exhale, hold. We're going to spread this feeling of relaxation to your mind. So right now, you're going to think about the alphabet in reverse, starting from the letter Z. And as you're thinking about it in reverse, you notice that you just get so relaxed that everything just turns dark and the volume goes all the way down. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. And I want you to imagine that you are in a field. You're standing in a field of grass, and then over to the far side of the field, you see a dome-shaped building. So you walk towards a dome-shaped building. And as you walk, you notice that there's a door. And I want you to open that door with your dominant hand. As you enter that door, like you open that door, you enter that dome-shaped building, you step into a gray colored room. The gray room is gray from the ceiling to the floor, and the walls are all gray. And this is the part of the room that feels so safe to you. You feel so warm, and you feel at home in this gray shaped room. And in front of you, you see a mirror. So this mirror is a very unusual mirror because it's the mirror of the version 2.0 of yourself. You see your reflection, but it is a reflection of that version of yourself that is already living your desired outcome. So that person is already living the life that you desire, has already achieved your goals and your desires. And you are looking at your reflection, and your reflection is looking back at you. And I want you to approach that reflection of you in the mirror. And I want you to touch your reflection with the palms of your hands. And I want you to feel the connection between that version of yourself that already is possessing the things that you desire, has already achieved the goals. And I want you to align energetically to that version of yourself, to align with that person's crown chakra, the forehead chakra, the ajna chakra, the throat, align with that person's heart chakra, solar plexus chakra, the navel, the sex chakra, the basic chakra, and all the major and minor chakras of the body, and align energetically with that version of yourself. And I want you to step into that version of yourself, aligning everything, like aligning your energetic bodies. And you are downloading all the information that you can ever need to become this person. And I want you to embody that version of yourself and breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And notice that you feel a difference. You feel more confident. You feel more successful. And realize that you and this desired version of yourself, you're already one and the same. So feel this version of yourself, embody this version of yourself. And we're going to take this version of yourself into our current reality right now. So, what I want you to do is you're going to find that door, the door that we used to come into this room. So, find that door, open that door, and step back into that field that you arrived earlier. And then by the count of 5, I want you to open your eyes, embodying that version of yourself. You are one and the same, and you're taking that version of yourself into this current reality because you are one and the same. So by the count of 5, you'll open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Open your eyes. Okay, how about you, Jason? How did you feel?
Yeah, that was very good. Very fluid. I didn't have any resistance.
I know. So I'm going to actually give you, just so that we can, like, because subconscious mind wants reinforcement and it has to be impressed upon. That's just how it works because, I'll give you, it's still in the beta process, but I do have the perfect day meditation. But this one, I think for what we're doing, we need the big guns. So I'm going to give it to you. It's called the Field of Infinite Possibilities. And you're going to listen to it for 21 days or how long you want to listen to it. And you
Okay.
can listen to it before you fall asleep, and it's just so that you'll get to your goals faster, and you can be the beta testers as well. But it's already being tested by one of my friends as well. I tested it myself and it was like, whoa, it's so powerful. And I'll give it to you by the end of the session. And anyway, so now we're going to be on the 4th key, which is aligned action. So I guess that's part of the aligned action. Listen to the meditation and for 21 days. But aside from that, what is the next obvious step you're going to be taking, Jason, after this session?
So the next obvious step is kind of where I've already started. I mean, I think for me, it's just the communication part, in terms of communicating my ideas to these people, in politics, in education, in government, in research. So I am in connection and network with a couple of people, and I think it's just networking, right? Communicating my interest and starting projects and how I can support them, and basically trying to find a path to get started, to get the ball rolling, and in conjunction with just balancing a full-time job. So that's what I'm gonna do.
That's good. Okay. Yeah, so that's great. So after this, this is a really powerful session. This is actually week 7. I think that, yeah, this is week 7 actually of the magnetic alignment. And I'll give you access to the other 6. But yeah, that's it. Like, and how do you like this session so far, Jason? Do you feel like any different?
Yeah, I think it's an interesting time because I think I was starting again in this transition anyways. And I think that this is a great way to kind of continue that since the beginning. That was many months ago. And yeah, I definitely felt like this session was the most fluid. Like I didn't feel like there was much resistance on my part. So yeah.
Yeah, so this session will actually be available to you. I'll send a recording of this one to all the participants and all those who bought my course and the workbook. But this will be available on YouTube, but the superconscious magnetic recode part will be cut off just because that's the part where people pay, what people pay for. And yeah, and thank you very much. Like, I really enjoyed this session as well. I feel this is very powerful, and usually what I do as well I listened to this as well. This is available on audio format as well as video format as well. So thank you. And the information is on the show links below and everything else, and also how to get that a version of this meditation as well. Okay, and thank you very much. And thank you, Love and Jason, for participating.